Hello there, it's Haley with the Armageddon Report. So we've got Tropical Cyclone Evan that we're going to talk about shortly, bearing down on Fiji. And then there is actually some potentially several rounds of severe weather going to be coming through the United States this week. So Evan, per the JTWC as of their latest thing, 121-mile wind speeds. And so JTWC has this as the equivalent of Category 3 hurricane. I've not checked in on what Fiji has put Evan at. So, potential impacts to New Zealand, we're going to talk about that shortly. But right now, for the warnings, we have parts of Fiji there's hurricane warnings, in fact, storm warnings, gale warnings, got wind warnings, and damaging heavy swell warnings for parts of the Fiji area. Here is the current satellite loop, so you can see how close Evan is getting, well, at least with the center of circulation to Fiji. And of course, obviously, when you can tell a storm that's this big, obviously, it's affecting many more things than just where the eye goes. So, yes, that is what is going on with Evan currently. Now, this is something I started working on earlier. Showed it in yesterday's screencast. So, if you did happen to watch yesterday's screencast, so what we've got here, it's now a zoomed-in view. So, here is Australia. It's kind of hard to make out the outline. And here's a blocky version of New Zealand. So, as of yesterday's thing, it also went out. I think I had it all the way out to 192 hours. They were showing Evan ending up like about here. So now they're kind of showing, this is one model run, this is the GFS Global Forecast System. Evan kind of is now, as of this latest run, stalling out a bit. But so this goes to the morning New Zealand daylight time of Christmas. So Christmas morning there might be effects to New Zealand. But the somewhat good news, now I have to preface this with, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I am not a trained meteorologist, but compared to yesterday, it kind of looks like Evan is falling a bit more apart in this one. Like, there's not as many, the black things are mean sea level pressure, so presumably the more of the circles you have around the storm, the stronger it is. That means like the lower the hectopascals or whatever they use to measure sea level pressure. Anyway, so the more circles you've got around that kind of shows a little bit, somewhat indicative of intensity. So today's run is basically looking better for New Zealand. But of course, this is all the way out to December 25th. Lots of things could happen by then. It's just largely a predictive art. I will say this imagery is not up on Cyclone, but what I am going to do is put it on the Getty Models page since it is a predictive thing. So hopefully later today I'll have that up somewhat if you would like to look at this image. And at some point, hopefully I'll figure out how to, what all the colors are the 6-hour rainfall amounts, I think. So what I'm going to hopefully figure out how to do is smooth that a bit so it looks hopefully make the map easier to understand. Hopefully at some point I can find some land outlines of Australia and New Zealand that aren't quite so blocky. So that is what is happening cyclone-wise in the world. So it's basically just Tropical Cyclone Evan. No, at least JTWC-wise, there aren't any other areas of outlook or interest. And yeah. So, US severe weather. Today we've got as high as a 15% chance of winds. There's two mesoscale discussions, in fact. One of them is for snow rates, because the Storm Prediction Center does cover the snow stuff. So there's no storms up in the Pacific Northwest. And then down here we've got an area of Texas where watch possible, 40% chance on that one. Isolated strong/severe storm development possible near trough/outflow measure. Whatever all of that means. But here are the individual probability maps. So here is the wind map. So this would indicate the probability of 58 mile per hour. 58 mile per hour and greater winds today. Here is the hail map that indicates 1 inch or larger hail. The probability of that. So two different 5% areas. And here's the tornado map. Any type of tornado is a severe weather event. So as high as a 5% chance today. So what would this mean? What do the numbers mean? What they mean is that what you do is anywhere you've got a probability area, like this 5% thing in Mississippi, you draw a 25-mile radius circle around it, and that means, for instance, in this case, there's a 5% chance that a tornado will occur somewhere within that 25-mile radius. So what is it? 5%? Fairly low, but what is it I always say? Climatologically speaking, 5% is pretty high. Because if you think of all the days that you personally are in like a 5% area. It's very low. So, but when you see tornado outbreak days, it's up to like 45%, just to give you a little bit of comparison to that. Tomorrow, as high as a 15% chance for a whole bunch of areas. Here's the probability map. This is indicating any type of, it could be wind, hail, or tornado. So when tomorrow rolls around to today or whatnot, that's when they break it down. It's only day one where they break it into tornado, wind, and hail, basically. And then day three, it's just peachy. Right, less than 5% all areas. Day 3 looking fantastic. And the days 4 through 8, both day 4 and day 5. So December 19th and December 20th, there's actually stuff in the long range. So that would be the December 19th threat. That would be D4. D5 would be December 20th. So, several days of severe weather. And it's the middle of winter, But again, as I say, tornado season, Dixie Alley. Tornado season never really ends for this area, but for the rest of the country, hey, it's all about the snow or the drought. So, severeweathertv.com is the official homepage of this screencast. WikiWix is WICKEDWX.com. Cyclocane is CYCLOCANE.com. And again, to restate, I'm going to hopefully put, I'm going to hopefully put the spaghetti, that image on the spaghetti models page. I can't get words out of my mouth. So this image is going to end up on this page and this page. Yes. See, there's like two. There's two spaghetti models right now for Evan. There's just not really the same data. The chip model and the AVNO, whatever those are. There's different models and stuff. So the GFS data, look for it on one of these spaghetti model pages. So anyway, that is it for today. Hopefully you are staying safe out there.